It's not quite the same, but the ECHL is back. We hear from the commissioner about this already unusual season. Additions are coming as the ECHL expands its footprint. And with another season, more ECHL alumni head to the NHL. It's time for the first chapter of our season-long story about the Premier AA Hockey League. ECHL Week starts now!
Hi, welcome to season number 9 of ECHL Week. I'm Barry Schickling. We're very happy to be back with you again for another year. And this one, of course, is going to be a little on the strange side for a number of reasons. Also, there'll be a lot of fans who won't be able to attend games. But don't worry about it. ECHL Week is your source for all the things going on in the ECHL now and through the rest of the season. So, let's get started. Last season was ended by the pandemic, and this season we're still talking about COVID. In fact, 12 teams have opted out this year because of the virus, which has affected millions of people around the world. However, 14 ECHL teams are or will soon be taking part in the 2021 regular season. For an overview of what's happened in the ECHL season so far, we can think of no better way than to speak with Commissioner Ryan Crelin. Ryan, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure, Barry. Always great to see you.
The season started in early December, and the first month was pretty smooth in terms of pandemic issues. But in the last couple of weeks, more players have been placed on the commissioner's exempt list, more games have been postponed. What are your thoughts about all that?
First off, I think it was a big accomplishment to even get the season started with all the protocols and really rewrote the playbook, quite honestly, on playing ECHL hockey. And we weren't naive to think that this was a possibility in terms of having to postpone games. We certainly saw it in other sports. And, we're taking it a week at a time. And we're hoping to reschedule those games. That's the plan. But I would say as a league, as a sport, perhaps as a planet, we're all learning and trying to find our way through this. And, that's what we intend to do.
Give us your thoughts about what's happened in the league since the regular season started in early December.
Overall, I think it's been very good. Again, like I mentioned, an accomplishment just to get back on the ice. There's, going to be challenges ahead. We certainly know that. And again, I think we're learning our way through it. So I think it's probably too early to tell. But we are where we are. We've been proud of that, and we're going to continue to work through it to get through the 2021 season. We know it's not going to be normal. We'd love to return to a sense of normalcy, but it's to think that way is foolish. So you deal with the circumstances that you've been dealt, and again, we are where we are.
What positives have you come away with in terms of the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season?
The fact that we were able to communicate virtually so well, build on our return to play and really the format for our entire season, I think really shows our unity and ability to communicate. And also, again, while we certainly anticipated some issues, the fact that we are playing games and we're adhering to the protocols and working through it, I think really shows the level of unity throughout the ECHL.
So you got 14 teams playing now in the ECHL and 14 more looking ahead to when they'll be hitting the ice again in another 9 months' time. What are your conversations like with those two distinct groups of teams?
In a normal year, as you alluded to, you've got everybody playing, everybody's focused on that, and everyone's devotion to this season versus looking forward are in similar quantities. Whereas this year, some teams aren't playing. So their emphasis and focus is on 21-22, right? So it's just, our job is to make sure we're running the league and we're reporting to the teams, but not every team is in the same boat right now. So I think that's been the biggest challenge, along with the fact that because things are so new and different and so many different details, you wake up every morning not knowing, what logistical challenge you may be confronted with.
Commissioner Ryan Crelin, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, Barry. Really appreciate it.
Time to get you caught up to date on what the ECHL looks like in the 2021 season.
One of the significant changes for this season is a one-year realignment. With all of the North Division teams opting out for this season, the Eastern Conference will consist of the South Division teams which are playing, plus Indy and Wheeling. The Western Conference includes the 6 Mountain Division teams in action this season, plus Fort Wayne. In an attempt to allow teams to react to local changes regarding arena capacities as well as health and safety precautions, the Comets have yet to start their season. Fort Wayne is set to begin on February 12th and play 50 games. Standings for the 2020-21 season will be determined by winning percentage. To date, games through April 4th have been announced, but the last 2 months of the regular season are still in development from a scheduling standpoint. Also still to be announced, the format for the 2021 Kelly Cup playoffs.
The ECHL is growing. Details next on ECHL Week.
Routines like staying active or talking to friends can help keep you centered. For more tips, visit coping-19.org.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready?
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Big news off the ice. New teams coming. Let's check out the details.
Deacon Sports and Entertainment, the owner of the Newfoundland Growlers, has been awarded 2 new teams which are scheduled to begin play this fall. The teams, one in Trois-Rivieres, Quebec, and another in Coralville, Iowa, will be making their debuts in October at new arenas. Coralville, near Iowa City, will call the Extreme Arena home. The Coliseum of Trois-Rivieres will be the arena where the ECHL's first ever team in Quebec province will play. Not long after the teams were approved to join the league by the ECHL's Board of Governors, Trois-Rivieres announced it had signed a 3-year affiliation agreement with the NHL's Montreal Canadiens. The 2021-22 season will mark the first time that 3 ECHL teams have operated simultaneously in Canada. 4 other teams in the league are part of existing shared ownership groups. And speaking of multiple teams with one owner, you can add to that list again, although it'll take a little time. Andy Kaufman, principal owner of the Jacksonville Icemen, will be adding to his portfolio. The ECHL Board of Governors has given its approval for Kaufman to operate a new team in Savannah, Georgia. However, that team isn't expected to begin play until the 2022-23 season. The currently under construction Savannah Arena, scheduled to start hosting events in the spring of 2022, will be home for the new team. Hockey capacity for the facility will be 7,300 fans. The National Hockey League started its season in January, and already 5 former ECHL players have made their major league debuts. 3 of those players are goaltenders. Former South Carolina Stingray Vitek Vanacek, who won his NHL debut for the Washington Capitals, ex-Indy Fuel goalie Kevin Lankinen, who hit the ice for the Chicago Blackhawks and then later won his first start, and Billy Husso, who tended the goal for the Missouri Mavericks and made it to the show with the St. Louis Blues. The other 2 are skaters, defenseman Nicolas Melanche, who played in the ECHL with Colorado and has now appeared for the San Jose Sharks, and winger Cole Smith, who played in 5 games this season with the Florida Everblades prior to making his first NHL appearance with the Nashville Predators.
There have already been some great performances so far in the league this year. Time for some highlights.
We open with Greenville's Matt Bradley avoiding South Carolina goaltender Alex Dubois for an overtime game winner.
Misses him and Bradley scores!
Next is Anthony Rinaldi, also of the Swamp Rabbits, with a little bit of shake and bake for his first goal as a pro. Overtimes this year have been as exciting as ever. Here's Rapid City's Gordy Dayfield making a big save against Utah. Then play heads the other way, and Hunter Garland slams home a rebound to win it for the Rush. Check this one out. The Grizzlies' Matthew Boucher is actually flat on the ice as he converts a rebound. Time for some goalie action. First, South Carolina's Dubois makes the final save in a shootout success versus Greenville.
And the Rays win! The Stingrays pick up the victory in a shootout and split the weekend with Greenville.
And a couple of jaw droppers. First, Evan Wenninger of Wichita dives while saying, "Not on my watch," to Indy. Then Gordy Dayfield says, "Anything you can do, I can do too." Tulsa and many of those in attendance thought this went in, but trust us, it didn't. And the Rush goaltender had the last laugh.
That wraps up the first show of Season 9 of ECHL Week. Thanks for watching. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media channels. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, a lot of content on there. Plus, you can keep up to date on everything that's going on throughout the ECHL, especially in a crazy year like this one. See you next time.